Number one podcast in the 765.
So they say. A lot of people say it, though.
Number one.
All right. And it is another bright day from the Chuck Sewer Drain and Studio. And you know what else is Maisha, what's really good? You being good tonight.
I don't feel good.
What? Oh, poor baby.
I know.
I would, baby, but I ain't gonna baby her because fuck you. Welcome to Ed Bounds Live After Dark. I'm your host, Ed, along with Brooke, Meg, and Maisha, and we are here for another podcast because we're the most dangerous podcast on the planet. You survive our interviews, you're a bad boy.
Everybody's scared of you.
Well, they scared of you too.
Ain't nobody scared of me.
You're Bam Bam. Somebody asked me about Bam Bam the other day.
Oh, Lord.
I can't remember who it was.
We ain't seen her in a while, have we?
No, I don't know. Because they said, what happened? Has Bam Bam been out lately? I can't remember who it was.
Barry.
And I said, yes, it was.
I know.
And I said, no. I said, Bam Bam being good. So, you know, and then it came up again. My brother asked me. So me, him, and Becky was coming back from Kokomo, and he said, "Wait a minute, why y'all call her Bam Bam?" And because I was on the phone with Barry, and I said because her legs ain't number about that big. Patty. Yeah, so
I got it because my initials are Bam, so that's how I got Bam Bam.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I figured because Riley and them saw your legs about that big and they called that. That's just what I thought.
Okay.
All right. Well, we have a very special guest with us tonight. A young lady that I just met, and Brooke been knowing her for a long time, but I just got to meet her, and she's such a sweetheart. Allie, are you still there?
I am.
Hey, Allie. Hey, welcome to the Ed Bounds Live After Dark podcast. Me and my crew. Now, I know you heard me say we're the most dangerous podcast on the planet, but that's when people been bad. On the other hand, with people like you who are real good, sweet people, you don't have nothing to worry about, okay?
All right, you scared me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, that's why I said, wait a minute, I better clean this up right here at the end. See what I'm saying? I knew. So, yeah. But anyway, we have Allie on here to talk about, you know, I want the people in this community to know when you hurt people, with the illegal drugs and fentanyl and you know, losing a parent, and what's that like, you know, the people that you're hurting when you do this. And so we got Allie on to tell her story about her dad and what happened, and potentially who could have been behind it, and why is that hoe still out. So Allie, let's talk about who your dad was and what kind of father was he to you.
So my dad, you could get 100 different definitions of him depending on who you ask. Some might not be so great, but then you have some out there that are
right,
just amazing. You know, he had such a big heart, but he was so guarded with it that he didn't let everybody in on it. And he was such a good dad to me. I knew him like the back of my hand, and our relationship was not the conventional father-daughter relationship. We had a friendship as well. And with him, he of course was going to walk me down the aisle, and 6 days before my wedding, I get a phone call from my grandmother that she can't wake my dad up.
Oh,
wow.
And then a few months pass. We were able to actually, you know, do a funeral service from him. But you have to also keep in mind, we just paid for our whole wedding. our whole honeymoon. I was just finishing up some prerequisite courses for college. My husband was finishing his as well. And then my dad passed away, and he didn't even have a life insurance policy that was taking effect yet. So we had to pay for all of that. And then we paid for his funeral service. Once we got the funeral taken care of, I got the death certificate. And on the death certificate, it said accidental overdose of fentanyl.
Wow.
I went back on my notes on who I asked when I found it. I saw it on Facebook, and I asked the girl, what happened to Chuck? And she said he had cancer and also his heart failure.
Okay.
He did have heart failure. If there was cancer, it was not detected through the autopsy, but he did have heart failure. His liver was not in good shape either. COPD, I mean, you name it. Don't be smoking.
I will say he always smelled like cigarettes, stale cigarettes.
Yeah.
I still have clothes of his that I've washed 10 times that still smell like cigarettes.
So let's be clear. What did it say? Actually, did it describe any type of drug?
It showed on there 2 different drugs.
Okay.
It showed cocaine and fentanyl.
Fentanyl. Okay. So let me explain to everybody that's in here. Some of you probably already know this. Fentanyl stops your heart. It causes you to have heart failure. So if you get too much, it will shut your heart down. So that's why when she said that he died of heart failure, well, that's what fentanyl does.
Right.
So if you got too much, it's over with. And that's, because it slows the respiratory down, the lungs, and definitely the heart.
But cocaine's an upper, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an upper, but when that fentanyl trumps everything.
Oh, yeah.
Was the cocaine laced, maybe?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, you think
absolutely.
it was laced?
And I only know so because, like I said, my dad and we weren't a conventional father-daughter. I knew this man. I knew what he liked. That man would not have taken fentanyl.
Yeah.
But I do know that cocaine was his vice.
From when I knew him, and that was his thing. Because he kept himself real good. You would never know.
What was his thing? Snorting cocaine?
Just cocaine,
I didn't even know. I've been friends with him for years, and I didn't know that.
But you would never know because he took care of himself very good. He had a really nice motorcycle. I mean, you would never know. Am I right, Allie?
No, you're 100% right. And it was something that he struggled with off and on my entire life. But I knew, addiction is a sickness. And unless somebody has seen somebody that they love or experienced it themselves, they look at it as, well, why did you do that? Why would you take the drug in the first place? Okay, well, why did you put on a red t-shirt today? It's not a matter of why they did it. Everybody has something in their own life. But just because his happened to be, a drug, he shouldn't have lost his life over that.
I agree. That had to have been very devastating to lose him 6 days before your wedding.
Absolutely.
And
I had his tux at my wedding.
You see what I'm saying? That's just heartbreaking.
Imagine.
It's just heartbreaking. It really is, because you was depending on him to be there to walk you down the aisle.
Daddy walking me down.
Yeah, Daddy walking me. You're right.
Yeah.
And so, I can just imagine what you went through, Allie.
I can't.
And Allie was his world.
I have to say it was the worst experience of my entire life.
Yes.
I've been through some shit.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing that you can carry his name and keep his memory alive. Do you have children?
I don't yet,
Okay.
but I kept my maiden name as a second middle name because I just couldn't get myself to get rid of it.
I don't blame you. Keep it, girl. Keep it.
Yes.
Keep it. And that's amazing. Keep it. So, so let's move into the bad news part of it. It's a possibility that you were told it's a possibility Tracy Oxidine, a local drug dealer here in Grant County, potentially sold this drug to your dad.
Very potentially. I won't say 100% sure,
Right.
because I don't know.
Okay.
But I do know that he was acquainted with Tracy, and Tracy recently sold one of my good friends a drug that was laced with fentanyl. Twice, on 2 separate occasions, he overdosed and was found passed out in his vehicle. And the only reason he was found is because he was in public parking lot.
Oh, wow.
And I know with 100% certainty, Tracy was his seller.
Okay. See, and that's just been, have you ever heard of anyone else?
I've heard a couple of names, but none that I was ever familiar with, and none that I have been able to actually tie to my dad. After he passed, I got his phone, all of his stuff, and there's a Tracy in his phone, and there's a Tracy Oxendine on his friend on Facebook.
So, did you do your homework on Tracy? Have you heard of anybody else's family member that might have got something from her and passed away?
I had thought originally when I saw Tracy, the friend of mine that was messing with her and was getting this stuff had told me, I saw your dad at one of my seller's houses. And when this had all happened, originally I'm thinking, okay, well, the same seller, you saw them at one person's house and then you both overdosed on fentanyl.
Yeah.
So
you're just connecting the dots.
Yeah, connecting the dots. Yes. Well, what I do know, and now that you're friends with me on Facebook, I'm very open about not liking, the math. I don't care for the math, but I really hate fentanyl. And I hate heroin. I hate it with a passion. It's because of shit like this, you're 6 days away from having your dad walk you down the aisle and then boom, he probably had no clue what was in his cocaine or whatever, because they're even putting that shit in weed now. And that's why people are scared to buy weed from, they got to go to dispensary because you don't know, So it's a struggle. It really is. And I am very against fentanyl. And the people that sell it, I don't mind calling them out. And she's been one of them. And she's been a big contributor to people in this community with that shit. And, I've been open about it. I don't like it. She's been on drug court numerous times. She keeps getting breaks. I don't understand why Judge Mark Spitzer in Circuit Court allowed her to graduate, sent her to prison where she belongs. And speaking of the judge, I'll get to that in a minute.
Didn't they, while she was in drug court, didn't they do a drug bust in her house or something?
No, I know they've been to her house numerous times.
Or there was maintaining.
Yes, and nothing got done. So
I do have a question. I was waiting for you to be done.
Okay.
You said that after everything happened, you had gotten your dad's phone. Did you go through the text message or see anything like a call or a text message by chance in there?
I scoured everything on that phone and I couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
My best guess is he deleted everything.
Of course. Of course, that makes sense.
And he was smart like that too.
That makes perfect sense.
He was good at covering his tracks. Let me tell you.
I even went as so far as to even going into, Cash App, going into the bank to see if there was any big withdrawals, and if there were, what day was that done on, so then I can check the call log. I mean, I should be a private detective.
Absolutely. Hey, dealing with your daddy.
A lot of people, a lot of women should be private detectives. They know some shit like these two fools across from me.
That woman's intuition.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Now back to the Judge Mark Spitzer. No, you're fine. I was sitting in the hallway at the courtroom today, and he walked by. If looks had a gun, I wouldn't be here on the podcast. Let me tell you, woo, the looks on his face. Oh my God! But anyway, I just have to throw that in there.
No more.
So, but Allie, it's an unfortunate situation what happened, and when we speak of this name, and because my biggest thing is she's out here still doing it. Yeah. People have contacted me and told me that she's out here still doing it. If you remember on Grant County Busted, there was other people, Allie, that was responding to you regarding knowing her and what she's about.
I even got messages about her as well.
Now you don't have to give the names, but can you talk about some of the things they said?
They confirmed that it was the Tracy, because in my comment I said I wonder if this is the Tracy that's selling fentanyl laced drugs to everybody.
Right.
Somebody that is very, very close connected to her messaged me and confirmed, yes, this is her. She's still doing it. The reason she was arrested most recently was over
child support. Yes.
Yeah. And they said that because of all of this, they're trying to make sure that she can't have her children anymore either. But it was an influx of messages. I would be going on for probably 45 minutes if I talked about all the messages that I got.
Oh, see what I'm saying? See, because everybody knows, and she gets them and downplays everything, and of course, you don't expect her to come out and say, "Oh yeah, that's me," but right.
I noticed she wasn't defending herself on any of the posts either.
Yeah, well,
I noticed that too. She was posting to Facebook, but that right there, I noticed that as well.
Yeah.
Well, I can say, because when you in this business of dealing drugs, you always get caught. Mm-hmm. And she'll get caught again. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, I'm going to be at that prosecutor's office, and I am going to beg them. No drug court, no more nothing. Send her ass to prison and leave her there. And I said that. Allie, so she has all those drug court people and the Hope House spitters, I call them. And they all hate Ed Bounds Live, right? They hate Ed Bounds. Mm-hmm. They just period. And that's okay. I embrace it. But they make it out like I don't care about people's recovery, and that's just not true. I want to see people get clean and be in the good fight. But when you go to places and you find a way around the system and you still use, and yet you say, like this one good lady, right? I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it because I don't give a fuck. Little Timmy mom.
Oh.
It was pathetic what she put that kid through. And
the living conditions are so sad. And
finally, it's been taken care of. And, for 5 years, what she tell me when something drastically would happen and law enforcement got involved and after a while, and then you'll run into her and be like, well, what's going on with you? Well, I'm doing pretty good. I'm 28 days clean. And then it'll be another situation. She done relapse. And then she'll 28 days clean again.
Not that she relapsed, that she's not admitting that she's on it right now. Like she wants you to believe that she's not.
Why she keep using the magic number?
These are my tenants every day. They make you think that they're not doing it, knowing that they're doing it.
But why the magic 28?
Maybe that's her lucky number.
Right.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. You know.
That tells you right there it's a lie.
Yeah, exactly.
She tells everybody every day, I'm 28 days.
Yeah. And you know, that's what she tell everybody, 28 days.
It's almost a month.
Yes, yeah. Like that's supposed to really convince me. Something like, oh, wow, 28 days. So, Ali, I'm sorry. If you're going to do it. You know, get some help, take it serious, and do what you got to do to change your life.
Some people don't want help, though.
They don't want help. They want to stay. So, if my thing is, if you don't want help, go down there to the jail, set your ass down, and don't say, oh, I want to go drug court, because you know why they want to go drug court? Because they want to get back out there.
Yep.
They want to get back out here and use again. Mm-hmm. Like Meg was saying, that them women in there, they don't talk about coming out, having a family, and a white picket fence.
Nope.
What do they talk about, Meg?
So excited that when they got released that day, they was gonna do some drugs. I mean, I'm talking about dancing. Like there was music playing. Like it was.
That's crazy.
So me, I'm like, look. Like if you're gonna do it, just remember you've been in here this long, and don't do it how you did it before you came in here. Like, because there's nothing I could have said at that point when they're literally dancing.
Yeah, you could. I've learned through all of my tenants and stuff, you cannot help anybody unless they want to help themselves.
Yep.
Exactly. You can't even try.
Yeah.
You can give them goals and set them motivation in their head and hope that one day that it sets in, but there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, you're correct.
I was with an alcoholic for 9 years.
What you say, Ali?
I said that's the truth.
And
That's the absolute truth.
Yeah, and that's just the thing. So, you know, they get mad at me and they tell people around, oh, Ed Bounds is a bully and he all he does is talk negativity about people or whatever. You know the thing with me, Ali, if I'm talking negativity about someone or whatever, then prove me wrong and I'll shut the fuck up.
There it is.
Right.
You bully me every day.
Yeah, no, I don't. I have to. You bully me, liar.
For every action, there's a reaction.
Yeah. So, you know, they whine and cry about, oh, Ed doing this and Ed doing that. And man, okay, well, they don't never want to tell what they did. Mm-hmm. You know, they
there
just only want to tell their part. And the recovery community, I know y'all gonna listen to this, and I just want to say, y'all gonna all end up back in jail. And when y'all do,
there are some good ones out there.
There's some good ones. I always say the good ones, I support you. Mm-hmm. If you're not trying to manipulate the system, I want to help you. I pray for you. I pray for you.
There are a lot of good ones out there.
There are some good ones
really
out there.
Taking it serious.
Yes, but there are some.
But the ones that keep getting hemmed up and things like that. And
them the ones I speak of.
What's the lady's name that runs it? That your favorite BFF?
Oh, that fucking fat warthog Kia Brewer.
Tell us how you really feel.
That's why. Hey, that bitch leg don't work. One of her legs don't work. You think she got a pig leg? Pussy smell like penguin piss.
Whoa.
Look at that. You just like don't even act like
I am.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Hey, Ali, I don't know if you heard of Petty Eddie, but you just heard him.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I love it.
Yeah. So, and Brooke knew she was. No, who was that just brought her up? That was one of y'all.
Maisha.
No, Maisha didn't do shit. It was you. Hey, Brooke knew what she was doing.
She sure did.
She knew what she was doing when she brought that bitch name up.
That's why she couldn't not laugh before she finished it.
Yeah.
She already knew.
Hey, did you see the fishing pole little shit she just pulled? Yeah, she got me to fall for that hook, line, and sinker. Shit, it is what it is. But yeah, but on a serious note, no, I try to make it clear, Allie, to everybody. Anybody that's struggling and they're trying, I'm with you. Mm-hmm. But man, if you out to play this, you got some people that don't want to quit, and they go to work. They're functioning addicts or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's their business. If they're not committing crime, if they're not hurt and stealing from their family and stuff like that, then okay, so be it. But fentanyl and stuff like that, them are not functional drugs. You know, and so
now, did you knew that he did cocaine, but was there anything else that he did do, or that's just what he did?
Nope, just cocaine. That was it. He didn't even really like smoking weed.
Right.
Oh.
And I know with the cocaine, I know it wasn't something he did every day on a daily basis. It got to the point where it was for him, I want to say controlled, like he could do it every now and then. Mm-hmm. This was one of those times.
Right.
Just happened to be.
This was just a now and then time.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe like once a year.
Right.
If that even.
Right. So it wasn't he had an addiction or anything like that. That was just something he did for
recreation,
sport.
fun. Yeah, like
yeah. Well,
not to say that anybody should be out here doing that, but also the fact of the matter is, I don't think somebody should be lacing things with something knowing that that's going to kill somebody.
Absolutely.
Like you're trying to line your pocket a little bit more for what?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To pay for funerals, because that's all you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Preach.
Just the selfishness and the blatant disregard for anybody other than yourself is mind-blowing to me.
It is.
For them to get a couple dollars in their pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, is it worth it?
No, it's not.
But
lose
karma,
your freedom.
At the end
and
of the
everything.
day, I really honestly believe that karma will get them.
Well, that's why I say everybody get caught. Mm-hmm. You know, I tell everybody, well, Ed, I ain't had no problem. Okay, maybe you had a good run for 5 years. I've had a good run. But I will say this, I got caught. Everybody gets caught. And so when you get caught, man, you got to pay that price. You got to pay that consequence, you know, and some people just don't want to do that. And I'm like, fuck you to them too. You know, them, when you put them with the people with the recovery, the fake recovery, I'm going to say this, let's call them a whole new world of their own, the fake recovery people, right? So when we mix them with the fentanyl dealers or whatever, you know, that make quite a few people hate me, right? And you know, it breaks my heart because it makes me have to say my favorite thing. Go eat a dick. Allie. So, well, we appreciate you coming on here and taking the time to talk to us. I know you got to prepare supper for your husband. You's a married woman now, and that is just
real hangry.
Yes, I understand. That's why I said let me get her on out of here and everything. And I know that I'll probably be meeting you here one day soon.
I would love that.
Yes. So I can't wait. So, all right, you tell the husband I said hello and tell him that, you know, don't rub his belly too tight.
I'll try to make sure he stays in shape.
Okay. All right, Allie, sweetheart, you take care.
Thanks, Allie.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, man. You know, when hearing that about her pop, you know, 6 days before the wedding, man, that's fucked up. That really is. There's no.
I can't imagine.
He called me 3 days before he passed. I had to look it up. But He'd always just call out of the blue and find out, you got a boyfriend? You got a boyfriend?
Yeah.
Just checking it out. Just checking it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
Chuck would tell you, I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
I'm an asshole. That's what he said. I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
But he was a loyal asshole, so
Yeah.
he was a good guy.
Yeah. So I don't know, man, but this is like I wanted to be clear. Thank you for making me clarify, but it's the fake recovery people that I have the problem with. Mm-hmm. And just like, we'll talk more about when we get into Brooks T, but I was attending a trial today, and it was just an unnecessary trial to be at. And this is all over drugs. And so I see why the prosecutors wanted to give, when people like me, when I sold drugs, wanted to give us a lot of time, because the drugs, it hurts, it breaks up families, and it causes people to get killed. Mm-hmm. And it's just that bottom line. So
I think if we got rid of that methadone clinic,
oh my God,
I think that brings a lot here. And then, after so long, I think that they get kicked out that program because they do something or they can't afford it or something. And
my dad and my uncle both went to that, and I experienced, I've taken him there, and it's not he winged off like he was supposed to off of it, but I feel like I have pulled up there and seen kids in cars waiting. Okay, so they're going to go do a dose of methadone and then come back out to their kids and drive them somewhere.
Yeah.
That was the scariest thing right there to me.
Yeah.
And the abuse, like you said, but yeah.
Well, I've watched, I worked at a corporate office, and I watched some people would get addicted to the hydrocodone and the pain medicine. And so then they went to that clinic to try to get off. Mm-hmm. And it was a whole nother addiction, which was a worse addiction.
Yes.
It made them not off. It made them a terrible person.
Yeah.
And then that methadone clinic never lowers your dose. They just hire you up, and they want
the more money they make off of it.
Yeah, unless you ask them to really want to wing off.
That's why when you said that about your dad, that's amazing, because they don't do that.
Yes, they don't.
They want to keep you on it for as long as they want, because it's all about the money. But it's a whole different addiction in itself. It's
sad.
It's worthless.
Sad.
It's worthless. And so
I've seen it firsthand.
There's a lot of people from outside of different cities that they moved to Marion to be close to that. Mm-hmm. And,
well, I'm going to, sorry, Meg, I'm going to reach out to this lady here, and she is our congressman.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have a sit down and say, hey, I want to sit down with you. And the reason why I want to sit down, what is it federally that you can do to shut this shit down here? I want this methadone clinic shut down.
I about died when you do you know that Medicaid pays for that?
Yes. I went like this because I was going to say a lot of it, like the HIP or whatever, they pay for it. And I know that like I said, my dad has talked, and he's known people that got kicked out here but went to Fort Wayne and they took them there. So how does that
let them go to Fort Wayne?
But how does that work though? Like you get kicked out of this, but then you can go a couple counties away and pick up right where you left off because of the money.
It's a different probably owner of the.
No, it's owned by the same company.
Different systems,
but
maybe.
You know what? If they want to send them somewhere, whatever, good.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying.
I want it out of Grant County.
Absolutely.
I want it out of here. Get them out of here. Bye. I don't want it. And I'm gonna talk to Victoria Sparks, and I'm gonna be like, there is something that I'm sure that I'm gonna try to talk to the governor, and I'm gonna be like, look, y'all come together. Look, if you want change in our communities, then the only way to get people clean is to put them in facilities, because those women should not be in there talking about when they get out, they gonna get their next high. You shouldn't even be talking like that.
That's why I really wish, and they might, but what I really wish is in jail in Grant County, I wish they did more programs. I wish they did more.
Well, the sheriff is going to bring some.
I'd say if there was, they didn't speak on them. So,
I know when we went and did a tour the other day, there was a classroom going on with people.
GED class.
No, it wasn't GED. It was them just trying to
some
employment
kind of program.
trying to get them back into the world. But I just think if we could get just more classes, help them learn about their credit scores, learn about how to fill out job applications, have more recovery in there, because I'd say at least 60% of them people in there are drug addicts, if not more.
Man, I hope Chuck's and them plan work, that old jail, that they can use that, go in there and gut that out and use that for mental health and drug abuse, and make them stay in there a minimum of 90 days. And if you get out and you reoffend doing something stupid that's drug related, then you're in here 180 days. You got the room over there.
Right.
You got the room. So, because over there across the street is going to be where the real hitters at. You see what I'm saying? Right. So,
that's your next step.
Yes, that's your next step. Exactly.
Yeah, because you watching on the Grant County Busted page, you watch people just over and over. Like over and over. Like I found some druggies living in the basement at one of my properties.
Yeah.
And I had already got one of them with no trespassing before, because he kept sleeping on the couch over there. And so he went to jail. I saw him in jail 2 days ago again, and I'm like, they just keep continuously doing dumb shit.
Yeah. Well, there is nothing to give them help. So they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna keep grinding. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I hope Chuck and Shane's them plan work.
It won't help everybody, but even if they can help a dozen of them, I mean, that's a dozen.
If they can put a dent, that's all matters. Because like I said, if they are able to, because you got to think, if you got 50 people off the streets that's serving 90 days, those are people that the police ain't constantly having to rearrest every other day because they're out. You see what I'm saying? So now you start digging into just stuff like domestic battery, things like that. All that little stupid shit you ain't got to deal with no more. And so then you start dealing with domestic battery and battery and stuff like that. And, which, that happens no matter where you go.
Yeah,
that's going to happen. So, but the people with the drug problem and everything, you need to have their ass sitting down and shut that methadone clinic down.
I agree.
Yeah. So, yeah. But anyway, Maisha?
So I just don't think the methadone clinic's going to go anywhere, because it's putting money. Is it federal or state?
It's both.
So it's putting money back into their pockets. Same with the drug court.
She's right.
So they mess up. That keeps them in the program longer. The county's getting money over. They're just recycling them.
Yeah. She's right.
But see, I'm pissed because it's coming out of our taxpayers' money, and then and they're getting them lots of money, but for Medicaid to pay. When I found that out, I tell you what, we were on a podcast talking about it when I found out, and I was pissed.
Yeah.
That's my tax dollars,
And they give them a ride. They pay for a ride. So if you live in Muncie, they will pay for your ride for you to come over here, wait, and then take you back.
Yep. And Medicaid pays for that.
And sometimes when you start out, you have to go every day until you get
phase up or something.
Yes.
Where then you can start going every couple days. Then it turns into like weekly or whatever. They'll give you weekly supplies.
I'm telling you, that methadone, that shit is abused.
I've watched it. I understand.
I know a lot of people that I'm close to that's on it, and they do nothing but abuse it. They do not. They abuse it to the fullest. Trust me.
Same with the Suboxone as well.
I say Suboxone was a big one.
Yes.
So what's the difference? Ain't that the same, Maisha?
I think it's similar. I don't know if it's exactly the same, but I know that, once upon a time ago, I was locked up, and there was a girl coming to do weekends, and she brought it in her vagina, and they were up in there high having a good old time.
That's the first thing I was asked when I got in. You got any drugs on you? First thing by every inmate there.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't, and they said it's been dry for a while. Kudos, Sheriff, for catching that. But that's the Suboxone is another thing. I have a family member that is addicted to Suboxone right now.
The sheriff took us to me and Brooke, and we got a documentary coming out.
Nice.
And there's a machine.
Yes.
Where they can catch that.
It's like an X-ray machine.
Yes.
It's not always working. That's how people get through sometimes.
It's not always working.
It doesn't always work.
I heard that it only catches metal. Like weapons.
No, they can tell.
I had a $20 bill in my bra, and they didn't see it.
They put stuff in their pockets to show like what it would catch.
Yeah.
I had a $20 bill in my bra and I didn't show it. She didn't know it was there, so I don't know.
Was blocking the machine, so I couldn't watch the monitor.
But yeah.
Wait a minute, why would you have a $20 bill?
Because I didn't have pockets. I had leggings on.
These are our pockets,
and that was my pocket. Like.
So what you do, buy some ramen noodles when you?
No, I tried to get one of them to put it on my books, but they never did. So
this fool she took cash money to the block.
No, I told him it was there.
You can't do nothing with it while you're there.
No, I told him it was there, so it went in my.
She could have bought her a shot of head or something.
Oh shit! Hey, we already talked about that earlier. We already talked about that earlier.
Wait a minute, Maisha, you sitting there? What's that about?
No. You can't look at no paperwork. Why are you in there munching on carpet?
Yeah.
Like,
amen on that.
God damn.
That is great.
Yeah.
But no, for real. Like, yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, it didn't catch the $20 bill in my bra, but it wasn't drugs, so I guess it's a good thing.
Right. Wasn't drugs.
No.
Now, you do know that you openly admitted that.
They took
Wait a minute. Hold on. No, but that even though they took it and mean that you openly admitted, Sheriff Daryl Garcia can come back on you now.
I didn't take it up to the block. I took it as soon as I got that thing. I was like, "Hey!" As soon as I got my X-ray,
so you told on yourself.
Sure did, because I wasn't getting in more trouble.
Damn.
Did.
Damn, you snitch.
Yeah, on me.
Did Pat know you snitched on yourself?
I don't know if I told him that, but what was I going to do with it in there except get in trouble?
Oh man. Did you tell your son you snitched?
No, but he told me to shut up when we got pulled over. He told me, "Mom, shut up! You're talking too much." I'm like, "Bub, like if you don't know by now, I talk too much." Then
my son tells me that all the time.
That's because your son telling the fucking truth.
I know it. No,
I have
it was
to explain
right.
everything, and I tell too much detail, and my son's like, "Mom,
like,
shut up."
Same. Yes, I do the same thing.
And that's
I
what
think
it
that's
was.
a girl thing.
Has to be.
No, because Ed talks too much too.
Well,
Yeah,
and that's
shut the
because
fuck up.
that's because I be talking true shit.
Okay.
So
I
we
mean,
just on ourselves.
No, I don't think so. But anyway,
Trying to get me in trouble.
I sure was.
I know. I see.
I was going to text Garcia and be like, "Hey, did you hear what Meg Moore said on the
Here,
podcast?"
let me send you this little snippet.
Yeah. Then they have a warrant for our ass. I'd be like, "Then I'll do some snitching."
Then you're snitch. Yeah.
Then I'm telling
everybody that
Hey,
Ed snitching.
Hey, look, hey, Maisha, I'm doing one of them numbers. Well, Brooke.
What?
You know what time it is.
Tell me how you want it. Yeah. Let go.
Well, you heard what she said.
Okay. Well, Kanye and Taylor Swift are at it again.
Oh no!
Drama
Why are you
again.
picking on that little skinny ass woman?
He's saying that Taylor is to blame for his Super Bowl snub. He's now deleted the post, but he had posted that I was never allowed to do the Super Bowl because of 3 moments. George Bush don't care about black people.
Right, I agree.
The Taylor Swift moment and the wearing the MAGA hat or MAGA. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with all that, but he chose to be a fucking idiot.
And then number 4, his little swastika, like I'm a Nazi thing.
Yeah, and then this motherfucker wore a black KKK
Yeah,
suit.
that might not have helped either.
Like this motherfucker walking around like he took a bath in a mall. You see what I'm saying? Like you a nasty. Some Chicago niggas, they some nasty niggas. Don't date nobody from Chicago now.
Been there, done that.
Oh, yeah. So you know what I'm telling the
Yes.
truth. See, don't always be right.
No, absolutely fucking not.
Horrible
Okay.
experience. I don't recommend.
All right.
0 stars.
What else you got?
In local news, Courtney Thompson, who's 28, was arrested back in June of 2023 for robbery and resulting in serious bodily injury and also theft, and for the murder of Larry Jones Jr., who goes by Worm. Michael Davis and James Watson stabbed Larry Jones 7 times to death.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Larry Jones was in a fight for his life, and Courtney knew about it and did nothing about it.
Yeah.
So Michael was sentenced back in March of 2024. He got 60 years for murder, 30 years for robbery and serious bodily injury, and then 2 years for theft. And then the jury, right now, Courtney, the jury is deliberating right now as we speak.
Yeah.
So her trial is going on right now. And then Ed Bounds Live After Dark, they will bring you the latest along with Marion Source News.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, I was the one at that trial today, and man, let me tell you, I watched that video. It was horrible. It was horrible to watch. And that young lady just gonna have to assume responsibility what she done. And these people out here on drugs, we were just talking about making bad decisions. Everybody don't want to get help, and then y'all here doing stupid shit. And just that man, even though he was a drug dealer, still didn't deserve his life taken from him, to be stumped, kicked, punched, and stabbed numerous times.
And then left for dead.
All for a little bit of drugs. They didn't even get a lot. And now I will say, the prosecutors showed their ass. I got it. Hey, listen, let me tell you, I was impressed. I ain't gonna lie. Jamie Moore, that bitch took the stand, and Jamie Moore tore her ass up. And he was able to catch her. She even told on herself. I forgot to tell y'all that. She told on herself, and he said, well, so you're saying that you didn't do it? She says, oh, I'm guilty for the robbery part. Oh, no. And then everybody in the courtroom laughed, and she's like, no, I mean, no, I'm not. And he's like, nope, too late. It don't work like that.
No
you
take
dumb
backs.
bitch. Yeah, ain't no take backs.
Dumb as fuck.
I mean, everybody in the courtroom laughed. Even Judge Todd, he put his eyes down. Nigga, I know you wanted to laugh. And he just put his eyes down and kind of like shook his head slightly. And we in there rolling like, you dumb bitch. And so she shouldn't. That's why they say, if you're guilty, don't take the stand. Right. Don't waste your time. And so, but this is why I get into it with the recovery community, the fake recovery community, because if you do not get help and stop what you're doing, you could simply wind up either like the victim or the people that did it to him. Because now you have 4 people that's out the game now.
Yep.
Their lives are done. The 3 that did it, and the person that they killed.
The victim. 4
lives are done now. And for what? For a little bit of drugs? Like, come on, man.
Because you had a drug problem?
Yes, exactly.
But why did they have to kill him? Why couldn't they just beat him up and take his drugs?
And you know what? Jamie Moore, the prosecutor, he made that clear that he was only 120 pounds soaking wet, and she said that he was a scary motherfucker, that all you got to do is just reach in his pocket and take it. He's not going to do anything about it. Well, that's what they should have did, man. It was 2 of y'all. He would have they didn't have to do that. They killed this man, and now your life is done over a fucking high that lasted 20 minutes. And it's all gone because they all 3 had to share.
Yeah.
So now her little dusty ass sitting up there. I just looked at her with disgust.
That's why that was the words on my mouth.
I just looked at her with disgust because, man, that shit wasn't worth it. It just wasn't. So
that's heartbreaking.
It is. It is. Y'all should have watched the video. I wish you guys could have been there to see. That's why I said you need to hurry up over there at Harvard City and come and check out. That shit's interesting. Those prosecutors did a damn good job. Scott Hunt, y'all know how I always felt about him, but he put in that work today. Him and Jamie Moore, y'all know how I spoke on it. He put in that work today.
Good, as he should.
And you know me, I call it right. Even if I don't care about you or like you or whatever the case, if you on point with that shit, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it that. And both of them was on point. I think I've been wrong about 4 times this in 1 month so far.
What?
You got to name each one of them. One by one, you got to name each one of them.
I done forgot because she done got me pissed off now because she looked at me like,
No, we looked at you in amazement.
Hey, we gonna move her over there so I can't look at her. We gonna get one of those dividers and shit, so I ain't gotta look at her, man. Anyway, so you got any more tea?
No.
That's it.
Ed Bounds is a punk.
Oh,
Get ready.
Well, we got that.
With Meg and Horn. Tell them how you feel, Meg. Let's get it, girl.
All right. It's that time again today. Say What with Meg. And I've got a good one for you guys. I didn't even brief you before. Usually I do. So I have been...
you do brief me, but I don't always listen because I be busy trying to get... Sorry to cut you off. Trying to get everything. So I don't always listen to you just for the record. Because you said that before. And I'm like, I don't think she knows that I don't be hearing her.
No, I did not know that.
Because I don't listen to half some of the shit you say sometimes.
He doesn't listen to me on the phone
because you in with her. That's why. I listen to Maisha, but I don't listen to you two. Anyway, go ahead.
Right. So we have a woman that reached out today.
Okay.
She's been in a relationship for a year and a half. She says, I am 5 months pregnant and my baby daddy cheated on me the whole time we were together with baby mama number 1. So his first baby mama. And now they're getting back together. So she basically wanted to know, like, she is contemplating the pregnancy and giving up for adoption or trying to get him back, and she just didn't know what to do, so she asked for our help and
kick him to the curb and have that baby girl.
Wait a minute, you was gonna say and what?
I said, and I feel like that's go girl, you go be a mama to your baby.
Is there a name on that?
There is not.
God
there is
damn,
not.
man.
I know there is not. But my thing is, let them be happy together. Like, they tried it, and y'all was together for a year and a half, and this would be kind of like your baby mama number 2. So now he did do the same way he did his baby mama number 1. Mm-hmm. So my thing is you have that baby, and you and that baby just make a life. Show him what he's missing, but do make sure that he's there and he is a dad, because that's one thing that I think that when you leave, you don't leave the person. You have a tie to him at this point. So don't hold, no grudge that he didn't want you or that he cheated on you, and that sucks, definitely sucks. But you go make your baby and your life way better without him. And that's
I agree. You know what? Listen. If I can come back, I'm gonna pull that move. I'll pull that move right there. I want to do her. I want to do what he did. You know what I'm saying?
Go back to baby mama number 1.
I want to go back to baby mama. You know what? If I'd have went back to baby mama number 1, I would be a lot further in places or in things right now. Because baby mama number 2 was a fucking like sticking a shotgun in my mouth, and I fucking blew the whole brains out. Right. So if I could double back to baby mama number 1, I would have been straight. You know what I'm saying? Baby mama wasn't that bad. She's just a mean motherfucker. Italian women and black people just can't mix. I'm just saying. Maisha, don't get you an Italian man now.
No, I'm good on.
Don't get you that.
I think I might be good on anything that doesn't have very much pigment.
No. Okay, tell us how you really feel.
I've been through it.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about this situation?
She shouldn't have got pregnant in the first place if he was already cheating on her.
Well, but maybe, when that shit get good, you don't know, right? Like, okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm under the impression she didn't know at the beginning.
Yeah, okay. If that sex get the good, and you sitting there and she like, and this with me and say, y'all, if y'all ain't never heard this when y'all was young, and then they just humping, and you like, and then you like, can I nut in? Can I nut in? Yeah. Don't say you didn't say it. Don't. I swear to God. I swear to
Guilty, I'll
one
be
of you.
honest. Guilty.
Yeah, see? I knew I had one. Brooke, come on. Keep it 100.
With what?
Keep it 100. What I just said, Brooke, come on.
I was not listening to what you were saying.
Okay,
I'm over here like,
so listen. You know when y'all humping.
no motions. Just talk. No motions. Just talk.
Well, Tara from Kokomo said that that's the way to get the understanding is do it with the motions.
Everybody's Googling Tara from Kokomo now.
Tara gonna fuck all y'all up.
Especially me. If
she
not,
got a mouthpiece on her.
Well, don't worry, tempers a problem. Come here so I cut your throat. But no, so you didn't say that when you were young?
Well, say what?
When y'all get to getting it good.
No motion, just talk.
You getting to get the good and he be like, Can I come in you? And you say, yeah.
Well, I was always in a relationship.
No, that ain't what I asked you.
I'm just saying.
Answer the question.
If I'm in a relationship, then yes.
Can y'all get your girl to answer the question, please?
I wouldn't let no rando shoot at the club. No.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. What did you call that?
Shooting up the club?
Shooting up the club?
Yeah.
I like that.
That is a good one.
That is a good one. I like them. So this weekend, I'm saying, my baby, can I shoot up the club? Can I shoot up the club? Pow, pow, bang, bang. Pow, pow, bang, bang.
Pew, pew.
Your microphone cut off. Your shit cut off. You ain't shit for that. I'm calling back right now. It's minute mine. Anyway, so that you ain't got anything else?
No, that's the one. That's
okay.
The one that I got.
All right. Well, we come to that getting close to time. I got to give y'all a closing argument on our situation. Now, it's horrible. Meth is horrible. Heroin is horrible. Fentanyl fucking sucks, definitely. If you're a drug dealer and you feel that you have to sell that shit to make some money, then you are lame. At the end of the day, you're lame. Because a real street nigga, he gonna figure a way to get his money without, killing people, hurting people, unless you're a stick-up boy.
Yeah.
So, quit ruining people's lives.
Absolutely.
Quit ruining it. It's not worth it. It's not worth your freedom, and it's not worth them going in that vault that their family would never, ever, 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 ever see them again. That is not fair. That's not fair to the families. She have kids. Their kids will never know who their grandpa is. With that young lady we had on here earlier.
That's sad.
And that is sad. That really is. So, for the recovery community, fake recovery community people, once again, you get to listen to podcasts and you're like, I fucking hate that Ed Bounds. Well, guess what, bitch? The feelings mutual. I fucking hate y'all too. And your church that y'all go to, I'm telling you right now, God's going to strike that down and y'all all going to burn. Because when you play with God, He always fixes you. Trust me, when you play with the Lord, you will see what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. You'll see, because you may trick the prosecutors, you may trick your lawyers, you may trick me, but you can't trick God.
Absolutely.
Can't trick God. Well, it comes to that time. Are y'all sad that we got to go?
A little bit.
A little bit? Maisha, you sad we got to go?
I've been sad all day.
Why, did somebody shoot up the club? All right. Well, we're going to get up on out of here. And y'all have a good night.
Like, share.
Yeah.
Like, share, comment, engage.
There you go. Tell them, girl. Tell them.